In the early 2000s, humanity was humming along on its familiar trajectory. We were all doing our thing. The iPod was new. Facebook dropped in 2004, Twitter in 2006, and the Mars Exploration Rover missions dropped the Spirit and Opportunity rovers off on the face of Mars in January of 2004. Around that time, a young motivated entrepreneur envisioned sending a greenhouse to the surface of Mars on a repurposed Russian ICBM missile to try and spark humanity's imagination and to help drive and push for more funding for NASA. Elon Musk had this idea of waking up in the morning super stoked for a future where humankind is pushing the boundaries of space exploration. He wants a future that's inspiring. He wanted to instill the question in us all: how much more exciting is a future where we are out amongst the stars? Believing in a future that should be better than the past, not just sending a plant to Mars for a photo op, but a future where rockets are fully reusable, where spaceflight is orders of magnitude more affordable for the everyday Tims, Amy's, and Marcuses. How would a future like that capture the imagination and lift the spirit? Let's deep dive the shit out of that. Hey everyone, welcome to the Night Cafe. Ian Jansen Van Beek here of the 3 Point YouTube channel. Thanks for joining in today. Let's start this by going back, not all the way back, but to when things really started to skyrocket for SpaceX. It was September of 2008, and they just had their first successful launch of the Falcon 1 rocket. Yes, Falcon as in inspired by the Millennium Falcon. You know, that fastest hunk of junk in the galaxy ship from Star Wars? Yeah, that's the one. You want to see a pic, right? Here you go. Around that same time, SpaceX's Dragon, a reusable cargo spacecraft, was submitted for NASA's Commercial Orbital Transportation Services demo program in March of 2006. After hitting several milestones, NASA selected Cargo Dragon in December of 2008 to be one of the spacecraft providing commercial resupply services to the International Space Station. After Falcon 1, Elon played around with the idea of the Falcon 5, but ultimately decided upon the now very reliable workhorse rocket, the Falcon 9. A two-stage rocket that can lift roughly 15,000 kilos to low Earth orbit and land again. At this point, space exploration wasn't on my radar. But that's the thing. Propulsive landing kind of catches the eye. And that first landing of a Falcon 9, well, an orbital class booster doing a controlled ground landing, it's never been done before. An early Christmas present in December of 2015, a legit milestone in rocket reusability. SpaceX has always been pretty open with their culture of transparency. Their landing fails blooper reel, man, that video, it's tight. 2014, 2015 were good years for try, test, iterate, try again. And I gotta say, that first sea landing on the drone ship named Of Course I Still Love You in April of 2016 was a true proof of design and culture cadence. And then, that crazy day, Falcon Heavy and SpaceX captured the imagination of the whole freaking planet. Man, you should have seen it. I was at the shop and my clients and coworkers were mesmerized. Some had no idea we could even re-land a booster. It was nuts. Lift off, stage separation, boost back, fairing release, Starman, twin boosters re-landing simultaneously. Man, the look in their eyes, the smiles on their faces, the wonder achieved. Ching! Building on the success of Cargo Dragon, Crew Dragon was contracted by NASA in 2014 and has already greatly furthered our understanding of automated rendezvous, upping the bar on docking with great precision, and has advanced heat shield technologies among other game-changing tech. Yep, 2020. Now, you need to be open to this fact about humanity. A fundamental truth borne out through history is that expanding, outwardly focused civilizations are far less likely to turn on themselves and far more likely to use their energy building and growing habitations, infrastructure, doing valuable research, and creating opportunity for their citizens. Now, doesn't that sound like where it's at? On the opposite side of the coin, A civilization that turns away from discovery and growth stagnates. So, not cool, right? With that in mind, let's talk Starship. Today in Boca Chica, Texas, SpaceX is accelerating development of Starship and Super Heavy, originally named Mars Colonial Transport, then Interplanetary Transport System, and later Big Falcon rocket. SpaceX has iterated design and we think settled on the name Starship for the rocket and Super Heavy for the first stage booster. The futuristic system intended for Mars, Starship has at this point shown a versatility of function as designs for cargo, passenger point-to-point, moon-only variants have surfaced and been embraced by NASA and SpaceX as development has progressed on the original intent to send people to Mars and make the solar system and colonization an everyday thing we can relate to. In its current configuration, Starship and its Super Heavy booster will be 387 feet, which is 118 meters tall, and will be capable of lifting around 100 tons, which is 7 fully loaded school buses to low Earth orbit. Each Starship rocket at this time will be capable of lifting 100 passengers to space. Elon Musk, founder of SpaceX, has a mandate of achieving full reusability, lowering the cost of flight orders of magnitude to attract the numbers needed to prove the viability of space and space travel for, well, everyone. SpaceX plans on using Starship in fleets, bringing hundreds and thousands of people, their imagination, their ingenuity, and their curiosity, which lives in us all, to Mars and beyond. In times past, when there were still geographic frontiers, we all still had that excitement of the unknown. But as those physical frontiers were conquered, I think we as a collective turned to the virtual, TV, films, and gaming for that fix. The physical world seemed to become more tame, controlled, regulated. And don't get me wrong, there's definitely some crazy, rad, beautiful, graceful things happening here on Earth. But you know, how many of us are on grid and plugged in? For the first time in a couple generations, we find ourselves collectively coming together with true wonder, excited for a future where we may overcome our regional differences in the name of an interplanetary exploration of the physical and the spiritual. Hopefully we can break away from our old messed up patterns. I don't know, you tell me. Have we been stuck for so long with our eyes down, watching our feet as we chase the dream of wealth, success, and prosperity? Somewhere along the lines, did we just forget to look up to the stars with wonder? Imagine a future better than what we have? There's a lot of movement right now about not being labeled and put into a box. So let's step out of that box as a species and get woke. Everything is about to change with the opening of the final frontier. Yeah, I went there. We cannot help but look up to the stars and imagine big dreams again. Humanity reaching for expansive growth. Flip and burn. Technological, spiritual, personal, it's all there. I wonder how humankind will react physically to the new elements we will be exploring in the next century. What do you think? Will we meet SpaceX's guidance and have starships on Mars by 2024? Will we have humans on Mars, a sizable moon base by 2030? A sizable city by 2050? What revelations in science, technology, and culture will we bring back to enrich the lives of people on Earth? I really wonder, how will we see ourselves as a species in 2120? These are big questions. But for me, what I really want to know is, will we strive for a future highlighted by growth and discovery, an opening of our solar system to expansion and growth? Or will we shy away? For what reason would we look away? For conservation and preservation of the red planet? Man, if we aren't testing our personal limits, are we even living or just existing? I personally think the choice is ours. We will still have the Earth and all her beauty to grow within as long as we treat her right. We will have the orbit and the moon to explore and create new opportunities with. And we will have Mars, and exploring that particular frontier will create such opportunity for growth in ways we haven't even realized yet. In a way, we really are just starting our journey. When you, me, everyone see the Earth from orbit, The moon, a change of perspective, will change our reality. When we see Mars, embrace Mars, at that moment, humanity and all the life we shepherd will, I hope, collectively realize how small we are, how curious, how incorrigibly curious the human spirit is. And perhaps our greatest strength, our minds. We have the capacity to adapt and embrace life. When we embark on colonizing the solar system, we will be initiating a new beginning, a new age, literally a new age of exploration, self-discovery, all that good shit. Thanks for coming along on this discussion. If you feel I earned your smile with this video, please consider subscribing and clicking the notification button. And if you really like what I'm putting out, consider becoming a Patreon member. I really appreciate your time and your support. We'll see you in the next video.